A silent kitchen rests beneath the ancient amber glass, a dormant power. A woody star guarding forgotten secrets. Beyond the fragile glass walls, time collapses into mist. Ancient mountain ranges emerge, piercing through the cold northern skies, standing eternal. Frost clings to the shadows. A solitary evergreen tree breathes in the chill, absorbing the raw, earthly energy, shaping botanical destiny. Valleys remain hidden beneath a heavy veil of fog. Sunlight rarely touches this sacred soil, leaving the silent, ancient deep woods completely undisturbed. Within the canopy, pale yellow blossoms awaken. Soft, delicate petals unfurl against the biting cold, seeking the faint winter light, blooming silently. Seasons drift across the harsh highlands. The flowers wither, surrendering their fragile beauty, allowing the true botanical geometry to finally manifest. 8 distinct points begin to form. Green pods swell with volatile oils, forging a perfect symmetrical botanical architecture, filled with heat. Rain sweeps through the silent wilderness. The dense evergreen forests nurture this strange geometry, hiding immense warmth within the cold, an absolute paradox. The green flesh slowly darkens. Sun and fierce winds bake the protective outer shell, transforming soft green into hardened rust, sealing the magic. Autumn winds strip the weaker leaves away. The resilient stars remain fiercely anchored, defying the approaching bitter winter storms, standing incredibly strong. A masterpiece of natural alchemy is complete. The 8-pointed husk cracks open slightly, revealing smooth, glossy seeds hidden inside, holding liquid fire. Countless stars fall onto the dark, mossy earth. The damp forest floor becomes a fragrant bed, breathing out an intoxicating, sweet, licorice scent, filling the air. The rough, woody texture tells a profound story of survival. Deep, rugged ridges carve its surface, mapping a lifetime of enduring freezing rain, etched in time. Indigenous hands reach down into the tangled undergrowth. The first ancient harvest begins under gray skies, awakening the dormant spice from eternal slumber, changing history forever. Plucked from the wild earth, the star prepares for a long journey. A solitary spice, carrying the profound warmth of the harsh mountains into the unknown. The misty mountains conceal a slow transformation. Deep within the ancient groves, the botanical geometry begins to shift, revealing hidden wonders. Roots dig fiercely into the damp soil. The rugged bark drinks heavily, absorbing the icy, ancient mountain water, fueling the core. Sunbeams occasionally pierce the thick canopy overhead. A gentle warmth slowly cascades, touching the sleeping high-altitude forest, breaking the chill. Tiny buds emerge from the dark wood. They twist with incredible precision, seeking the faint, golden morning light, pushing ever outward. The forest breathes in a quiet rhythm. Mist rolls across the peaks, hiding the sacred growth from outsiders, protecting the spice. A single green pod swells with life. Essential oils gather inside quietly, building a highly potent aromatic profile, ready to burst. Heavy storm clouds gather above the ridge. The relentless mountain winds howl, testing the strength of the branches, shaping their resilience. The wind whips the delicate green leaves, yet the star holds firm, gripping the stem with absolute strength, refusing to fall. As the storm passes, a deep calm returns. The entire valley glistens, reflecting the pale silver lunar glow, resting in silence. Water droplets rest upon the perfect star. The geometry is finally complete, forming an exact 8-pointed structure, a natural marvel. Weeks pass, and the deep cold intensifies. The forest prepares for slumber, wrapping the tall trees in frost, slowing time down. The sharp edges of the star harden. The bright green slowly fades, transitioning into a deep, rustic brown, sealing its fate. Winter locks the mountains in bitter ice. The evergreen groves stand tall, guarding the precious, hardened spice pods throughout the freeze. The frozen shell cracks under immense pressure. A tiny fissure suddenly appears, exposing the smooth, glossy amber seed, sleeping safely inside. Spring will soon return to these peaks. The ancient cycle slowly resets, promising another heavy and fragrant harvest for the future. The misty deep valley finally awakens from winter. Indigenous tribes begin their silent harvest, moving through the dense evergreen forest, honoring the ancient earth. Weathered hands touch the bark, fingers delicately detach the rough spice, preserving the perfect eight-pointed shape, treating it with deep reverence. Woven baskets fill with rust-colored stars. The long, silent trek begins, carrying the forest bounty down rugged trails, descending the misty high peaks. Hundreds of hardened shells gather together. A rich, licorice fragrance rises, slowly intoxicating the crisp mountain air, promising intense, hidden warmth. Sunlight bathes the highland village courtyard. The precious harvest rests patiently, absorbing the intense, pure solar heat, baking the rigid wooden skin. Raw moisture escapes the green flesh. The sun bakes the protective shell, shifting the hue to dark amber, concentrating the volatile, precious oils. Distant bells echo through the trees. Early merchants arrive at dawn, seeking the highly prized, fragrant stars, trading for the mountain gold. Ancient bronze coins reflect the light. Value is placed upon the spice, exchanging cold metal for absolute warmth, sealing the first ancient contract. Heavy sacks are secured with ropes. The long, grueling descent begins. Leaving the isolated, pristine northern highlands, stepping towards the civilized world. Coarse woven hemp contains the treasure. Sharp points press against the fabric, ready to endure the violent journeys, traveling across the vast continents. The rugged mountains finally fade behind. Bustling ancient trade routes appear, merging with thousands of weary travelers, converging in the great unknown. The tight, heavy sacks are untied. The woody stars tumble out freely, hitting the hard wooden merchant tables, echoing with a hollow sound. Different cultures clash in the market. Foreign merchants inspect the dark spice, smelling the exotic, profound medicinal aroma, preparing for the desert crossing. Foreign hands hold the perfect geometry. A powerful new obsession begins, unlocking mysterious paths of ancient trade, connecting east to the west. The Grand Eastern Gate opens wide. Caravans step into the blinding sands, carrying the ancient magic of nature, stepping into the legendary history. The endless golden dunes stretch infinitely. Camel footprints slowly disappear, erased by the relentless hot desert winds, hiding ancient paths. Worn leather saddlebags swing rhythmically. Inside lies the forest treasure, enduring the extreme, punishing dry desert heat, perfectly preserved. A fierce sandstorm blocks the horizon. Merchants lower their weary heads, pushing through the blinding, violent golden dust, seeking safe refuge. Dusty hands protect the small wooden chest. The rigid stars remain safe, sleeping soundly beneath the chaotic desert storm, guarding their magic. The raging winds finally die down. A tranquil desert oasis emerges, shimmering under the cold, pale moonlight glow, offering brief peace. Silver cups reflect the clear water. The dark spice rests nearby, contrasting deeply with the rich Persian silk, emitting exotic warmth. The caravan reaches a magnificent Persian market. Grand minarets cast long shadows, overseeing the vibrant, bustling ancient spice trade, connecting two worlds. Brass scales tip with immense weight. The woody star commands high value, rivaling the purest, bright yellow minted gold, becoming a luxury. The endless desert yields to the vast ocean. Massive wooden merchant galleons depart, crossing the treacherous, dark, deep blue waters, heading further west. Heavy wooden barrels creak violently in the hold. The resilient spice waits patiently, surviving the brutal, rocking, salty ocean waves, perfectly intact. European ports emerge from the heavy fog. Wealthy noblemen await the exotic ships, seeking the rare, precious, magical eastern spice, hungry for power. Velvet-lined boxes cradle the foreign treasure. Aristocratic fingers touch the sharp edges, marveling at the strange, perfect botanical geometry, completely mesmerized. Grand Renaissance banquet halls glow brightly. The woody star graces the royal tables, infusing the opulent royal medieval roasted meats, defining absolute luxury. Pure silver platters reflect the warm candlelight. The dark brown star shines deeply, guarding a much deeper, secret, mystical potential, waiting to awaken. But the royal tables are just the beginning. Cloaked figures enter dark cellars, carrying the precious spice into hidden laboratories, seeking true alchemy. Hidden beneath the grand cobblestone streets, Ancient alchemists study the Eastern treasure, seeking its deeply hidden mystical power in absolute secrecy. Faded ink traces the sacred geometry. The eight-pointed star is drawn, mapping out the divine botanical structure on old parchment. Glass alembics bubble over open flames. The obsessive pursuit of knowledge begins, turning the humble spice into gold, or dark magic. Heavy iron pestles crush the wood. The beautiful, rigid structure shatters completely, releasing an intense, sweet, dark aroma into the damp air. Boiling water violently consumes the fragments. The scholars observe the dark transformation, extracting the hidden rare essential oils with pure obsession. Golden oil floats upon the surface, the essence of the distant mountains, separating from the muddy, dark water. A true miracle. Thick, dusty grimoires hold forgotten recipes. Eastern medicine blends with Western mysticism, creating a highly potent healing elixir for the elite. A single heavy drop falls slowly. The pure, concentrated liquid holds immense power to heal or to destroy, an absolute balance. Secret underground apothecaries stock the vials. The Eastern Star becomes highly coveted, resting beside strange, exotic European herbs. In the shadows, candlelight flickers against the thick glass. The amber liquid glows very softly, whispering ancient secrets of the forest to the silent room. Dark times fall upon the continent. The spice becomes a desperate shield, fighting against the invisible, deadly plagues with herbal warmth. A perfect star hangs on leather, a protective talisman worn very close, guarding the beating, fragile human heart from the sickness. Aristocrats consume the bitter, dark medicine. The profound Eastern warmth spreads rapidly, healing the sick aristocratic pale bodies, demanding high prices. An empty glass vial rolls away. The mystical cure demands heavy sacrifice, draining the massive royal gold vaults for simple survival. The alchemist holds a pristine star, a tiny piece of wild nature, conquering the great minds of Europe through sheer mystery. The shadowed streets of Paris awaken. Bohemian artists chase the elusive green fairy, seeking the absolute pinnacle of creative madness, diving into the night. A beautiful slotted silver spoon rests. Cold water drips slowly over white sugar, dissolving sweet crystals into the emerald spirit, transforming the bitter drink. Thick green liquid clouds the glass. The Eastern Star lends its potent essence, fueling a massive, legendary artistic cultural obsession, captivating the entire continent. A delicate crystal goblet catches light. The milky emerald fluid hides deep secrets. Swirling with the intense extracted woody oils, a dangerous, magical potion. Famous painters capture this strange euphoria. The woody spice dictates a dark era, inspiring countless beautiful, tragic, haunting masterpiece paintings, leaving a permanent mark. Wet paint drips down the canvas. The sharp, geometric star rests beside brushes, witnessing the raw, untamed, furious creative passion, blooming in the shadows. The intoxicating green hour claims many. The working class seeks the cheap escape, drinking the highly potent anise-flavored liquor, seeking sweet temporary oblivion. A cracked, dirty glass sits empty. The strong licorice aroma lingers heavily around, carrying the ghost of the wild forest, refusing to simply fade. High society whispers of the madness. The green fairy turns into a demon, threatening the moral fabric of polite society, inciting panic and deep fear. A heavy ink stamp hits paper. The absolute ban is signed into law, ending the magical era of green spirits, silencing the bohemian dream. Barrels of liquor pour into gutters. The powerful spice is violently cast away, flowing down the cold, dirty cobblestone streets. A deeply tragic end. The potent green liquid drains away, yet the resilient woody star remains untouched, guarding its true, absolute hidden medicinal power, waiting for another dawn. The Western obsession slowly dies out, but the spice returns to its roots, traveling back to the ancient Eastern world, reclaiming its original, divine purpose. The eight-pointed star rests quietly. It survived the fierce fires of alchemy, outliving the wild madness of Western cities, remaining entirely pure, and unbroken. A new dawn breaks over Asia. The ancient medicine cabinets await their king, preparing to heal the fragile human body, beginning a new grand chapter. Thousands of wooden drawers line the grand hall. Ancient healers study the spice, unlocking its profound, deep internal healing properties, balancing the human spirit. A heavy brass pestle grinds the woody star. The potent, fragrant golden dust falls softly onto the sacred ancient parchment, preparing the medicine. Massive demand surges across the vast Eastern Empire. Thousands of gatherers strip branches, feeding the endless, desperate royal medical needs, exploiting the ancient forest. The sharp, woody edges turn to fine powder. A master herbalist carefully measures, weighing the exact, precise dose of survival with absolute caution. Caravans now carry the spice for human survival. The healing, fragrant dark wood travels urgently across the vast, ancient plains, reaching the sick masses. Boiling water extracts the deep, hidden medicinal power. The dark, bitter healing tea releases a thick, heavy, potent licorice steam, filling the quiet room. But the wild, high mountains begin to bleed. The eternal, sacred, evergreen groves suffer under the heavy, relentless human harvest, paying the ultimate price. A scarred, withered branch remains entirely stripped bare. A single, broken star falls, landing silently upon the cold, damp earth, reflecting human greed. Emperors hoard the precious medicine in golden vaults. The humble mountain forest spice becomes a highly guarded, powerful royal asset, controlling life and death. A delicate porcelain spoon stirs the dark elixir. The potent extracted botanical oil promises quick relief from the harsh winter, delivering absolute warmth. Generations pass, but the intense harvest never stops. The true power of nature remains heavily chained to human medical desires, shaping global botanical trade. Intricate ancient symbols describe its massive healing potential. The eight-pointed star dominates, sitting proudly within the sacred medical text, a legendary botanical king. The knowledge flows outward to the modern world. Western medicine returns seeking answers, extracting the raw, secret, powerful organic compounds, fighting invisible modern plagues. Modern glass vials now hold the ancient magic. The rough wooden star surrenders, yielding its true ultimate chemical healing essence to the scientific world. From alchemy to the highest peak of medicine, the journey claims many sacrifices, leaving the ancient, deep, misty mountain forests permanently scarred but revered. Modern kitchens inherit the ancient, profound mountain legacy. The surviving woody star, finally, graces the warm family dinner wooden tables, completing its grand journey. 5 distinct spices blend in absolute cultural harmony. The 8-pointed geometric star reigns as the undeniable, powerful culinary king, balancing sweet and savory. Street vendors boil rich, deep broth through midnight. A fragrant, thick white steam rises into the cold, bustling city air, feeding the hungry souls. Dark roasted stars dive into the boiling marrow. The wild mountain essence quietly infuses the incredibly rich, golden beef liquid, creating pure culinary magic. Generations gather around small, humble, steaming wooden tables. The beautiful, ancient botanical warmth connects strangers in a shared, comforting silence, healing tired, modern hearts. A porcelain spoon lifts the dark, fragrant liquid. The intense, sweet, savory memory lingers deeply upon the warm human tongue, transcending all spoken languages. From ancient mist to the global modern pantry. The rough brown woody spice quietly dictates the ultimate global flavor profile, ruling the culinary world. Rough edges guard the shiny amber seed within. A tiny piece of wilderness, surviving the long, violent, brutal human history, remaining entirely unchanged today. But the high northern misty peaks still remember. The scars of massive harvests slowly fade beneath the quiet green moss, healing over deep time. A single new green pod forms on branches. Nature endlessly repeats its cycle, giving birth to another perfect, sacred star, defying the human greed. The world continues to spin in chaotic haste, yet this small mountain treasure waits patiently inside the quiet, dark glass, observing the fleeting centuries. Sunlight hits the amber jar on the counter, the 8 distinct, sharp points, cast long, dramatic shadows across the wood, revealing their ancient magic. It is not just a simple kitchen ingredient. It is a profound survivor, holding the heavy, massive weight of history in absolute, perfect silence. When modern hands hold this rigid wooden star, they touch the cold mountains and the thousands of wild desert miles it traveled across time. The Green Fairy and the ancient Eastern healers. They all bowed before it, the undisputed, eternal, rustic king of spices, fading into the mist.